Yeah. Welcome back to Live Inside the Booth. I'm your host, Marlon Lowe. Got another great show for you today. Look, listen, you know who we got. We got Mike Davis and Antoine Davis from the University of Detroit Titans with us today, joining the show. Look, I'm not going to talk a whole lot because I got some questions for Coach Davis and for Antoine. So we're going to bring them inside the booth and we're going to talk about it so we can, and y'all can share as well. So let's get them inside the booth. We got Mike Davis and Antoine Davis. Let's talk about it. Let's bring them in. Antoine, Mike, what's up? Hey, look, first off, we miss you down here in H-Town, man. We miss you down here in the H.
Hey, we miss Houston as well now, I can tell you that.
Yeah. What's up, Twan? How you doing, man?
I'm good, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain at all. Look, what's the weather like up there, Twan? Because you used to be in them shorts all the time, man. You got on shorts right now? You got on a tank top?
No, I can't do that here. It's too cold.
Oh, too cold, huh?
Yeah. I'm wearing double clothes, matter of fact.
Okay, so we got a little change of weather down there. We went up to the north and we got a dramatic change because last time you was up north, you was about this little, and Coach Davis was carrying you when you was in Indiana. You don't even remember them days, huh?
A little bit, not too much though.
Coach, how you doing up there? You been all right?
I'm great, man. I'm enjoying it. Really enjoying everything.
Well, good. We got some questions. We're gonna talk to y'all. Thanks for joining us inside the booth, first of all, and. It's been quite a few people that kind of hit us up and asked some questions to run by you. And particularly, I got some questions for Coach Davis especially, but Twan, there's a lot of people got questions for you. It's just like, man, look at this guy. You know what I'm saying? But look, we're going to start out with Coach. So, Coach, like as far as Detroit Mercy is concerned right now, you guys are 8-10 overall and 5-1 in the Horizon League. What has been the preparation that has gone into getting you guys to where you are so far?
Well, my philosophy has always been challenges and make sure you push yourself as hard as you can by playing the best competition that you can play. And we did that in non-conference. We wasn't picked to win any games in non-conference, and we won 3. And it has prepared us for our conference. We're 5-1, and the game we lost, they beat us pretty good. We wasn't ready to play because we had won like 3 games in a row. So I love the challenge of playing good teams. We did it at Texas Southern, and so I knew we'll be pretty good once conference started.
Okay. Because it's started. It's been a good one. Twan, I'll skip to you on this one. You're in a situation as a freshman where you're trying to still, most freshmen at this point in time are still trying to figure things out. How much has being a coach's son and growing up around the game of basketball helped in your early success?
Well, it's helped a lot for me. I mean, being around my dad and then being around really great coaches too as well helped me grow more. So it really didn't bother me coming in as a freshman doing things like that because I've experienced a lot.
Okay. You experienced a lot. Like, I'm not gonna put your business out in the street, but I remember seeing some clips of you playing against some guy 22, 23 years old sometime when you was only 15, 16. So yeah. I won't go there if you don't want to talk about it. It's okay. But now also, Coach,
yeah,
people don't know, and I'm not sure how much they talk about it up in Detroit because you were in the Midwest at one point in time, but you took the Indiana Hoosiers to a national championship game. Can you tell us about your Final Four experience overall and what helped prepare you to be a head coach that you are right now?
Well, it's a dream to play for a national championship, and there's not a lot of coaches. They give every coach that compete in the Final Four, participate in the Final Four, a sports jacket, and has Final Four on the inside. And so a lot of coaches is coaching basketball. You only can get the jacket if you participate in the Final Four. And I picked my jacket up, believe it or not. We played in 2002. I picked my jacket up when they had the last Final Four in Houston. because I wouldn't go to another Final Four, because after you experience that experience, there's nothing else like it. That's what you're always trying to do, is get to the Final Four again, get to the championship game. And so it has prepared me as a coach to really work hard and really focus every single day, because my only goal is to get to a national championship again. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, along with that, you did an incredible job at TSU, and now that you're coming to Detroit, you have now that before coming to Detroit, excuse me, you have a lot of respect for the SWAC in many ways. Now, being that you're now in another league, is there much of a difference, or could some of your very good TSU teams play at that level as well?
I think for sure we had really good talent at Texas Southern, and they had a lot of good players around the league, especially the guard play. The guard play in the SWAC is really good, and they don't get the credit for being good players. Even the coaches, there's some really good coaches in the SWAC. Once you go against the coaches, you get a game plan, and you know if he can really coach or not. And I really had to work hard in the SWAC. But we had a lot of the years we had better players at every position, so it was kind of made for us to win, because if you get the best point guard, best two guard, best wing, best center, you should win. And we ended up losing 2 or 3 games almost every year. And I think last year we lost 6 games in conference. So it's really competitive, man. The Horizon League is there are some teams that could really compete in the Horizon League in the SWAC. I just put it like that.
Okay. That's good. Now, I'm going to ask you this question as we get ready to go into Twan's mode, because we coming straight to you, Twan. We about to get ready on
be real careful with him, Mom. Be real careful.
I got it. You know I got it. Now, Coach, Antoine is close to breaking Steph Curry's collegiate record for 3-point shots made. I'm sure that you're hearing a lot about it. And last year, Trae Young was close to doing the same thing. Do you see any similarities between Antoine and Trae, both having been criticized for their size and stature?
Well, Antoine and I talked about it last year, to be honest with you, when Trae was making his run and really playing well. We talked about it. I said that could be you. You put the same work in. You put a lot of work in. I can't say the same because I don't know what Trae did, but the proof in this game showed he put a lot of work in. But I say you put a lot of work in the game, and you need to be in a situation where, you're going to be able to play freely. And Coach Sampson, Twan signed with Houston, and Coach Sampson knew how Twan played. That was the most important thing by him going to Houston, was Coach Sampson understood his game. And he talked to Twan about that when we came for the visit. The first thing he told Twan, I don't mind you missing 12 shots in a row. All I'm going to say is shoot the next one. Mm-hmm. And so that was that made me feel good. I'm quite sure it made Antoine feel good as well. But, fortunate for me, he decided to come play for me here at Detroit. And, I've seen the good times and the bad times. Well, I mean bad times, the struggles in the lab with Coach Lucas, by him going against older guys. And, I've seen the improvement that he made over the last 5 years, because our plan, Marlon, was a 5-year plan. It wasn't be ranked high in the city of Houston or high in the country, make the McDonald's game. It was a 5-year plan that we had, and we wanted to outwork everybody, but we wanted to outlast everybody as well. A lot of guys can work early, but can they do it for a long period of time? And so I take my hat off to you, to Coach Lucas, to Coach Max, Tony, and Gene, and everybody that worked in the lab, because it was a great experience for Twan to be able to walk in there and go against Mike James and John Jr. and Luke the Head and the Austin Rivers and all those guys that came through there, Tim Frazier. And I also have to appreciate what Coach Lucas did, because I know there was many days in their mind, it was like, hey, who's this little kid on the court with us? And most people won't let little kids on the court with grown men or college guys, because it kind of messed the game up. But Coach Lucas didn't care, And so he used to put Twan out there and play with Mike James on 4-on-4. they'll stick him over in the corner. And, you know, if he was open, he had to make the shot. But if he didn't make the shot, they got on him like he was supposed to make the shot. And so, you know, all those experiences was really good. So he's well prepared for where he is now, whether he make another basket or not. But he's well prepared, you know, for college basketball.
That's right. That's right. He is. He's showing it. Antoine, you had a chance to work out with a legend. I mean, you've been working out with a lot of guys, respectfully. But you had it from a guy from Gulfport, Mississippi, a guy named Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. You know, what was that like to be able to work out with Mahmoud? What was that like?
I mean, the workouts they were challenging, honestly, because he'd have you making shots in a row. I mean, I'm used to doing stuff like that, but we were doing stuff like continuous movement, off the dribble stuff, and it really helped. And it was like a blessing, to be honest, to even be able to work with him.
Okay. Did he get you on some things that you had to go over and over a couple of times, say, do that again, or did you pick it up pretty quickly and just kind of master that?
No, he has some stuff that I've never seen before, to be honest, and it really it challenged me, and I did it over and over and over again, like you said.
Okay. And say pros are pros for a reason. How they got some things that they can teach you and bring back. That's all right. Yeah. Now, Antoine, check this out. We are living in the day of the three-point shot, and many want to be able to shoot the ball like Steph Curry, Trae Young, and now even yourself, right? So what advice would you give to a young person that you know helped you as you have come this far in your role so far?
Well, my dad played a big part in that. After AAU games, no matter what, having a good game or a bad game, I was in the gym shooting form shots. So it was like good performance or bad performance, AAU ball, high school ball, I was in the gym regardless after every game, just putting shots up and just working on stuff.
After every game? Like, yeah. Now tell me this, was it always fun? Was it always fun to be in that gym after every game?
No, it wasn't, because the good games, you don't even want to be in there. You just want to go home. So I was like, it all helped in the end, because I'd be tired at the game. Some games I'd play the whole game. So I really wouldn't feel like even being in there, but we just both did it.
Okay. Now, when that started out, first of all, I have to speak this. Like I said, I remember, Antoine, when you first came down here, you had the bubble fro, and he was in the gym, and, you know, we asked you to pick up the basketball, and you walked over there and grabbed the football. You know, basically, when you were real green. Now, as far as you've been in the gym, you've been working a lot, more than anyone else that we know. Because there's always somebody that's probably be working better than you, more than you, what they say.
Yeah.
When did you say, like you said, even during wins and losses, after the games, you would be in the gym? Sometimes you fought it, sometimes you didn't. How long was it, or what was that process like until you finally accepted it? Like, this is good for me and I see the results, or has that time not come yet either?
Well, from 7th to like 9th grade, I didn't really get it. I thought it was just him punishing me after bad games or something like that. I thought it was like punishment, or like I play a good thing. I'm like, why would you put me back in the gym after I played a good game, you know? But it showed, like, it helped too. Like, cause the next day, or if we were in a tournament or something like that, the next game I'd play like really good again. And I could see that it was kind of paying off a little bit. So I started recognizing that like my sophomore year, my junior year.
Okay. No, don't. Hey, and that's when the city started waking up too. The city started waking up. There was this guy named Antoine. Yeah, we see that. I think, me personally, I wasn't there, but I had phone calls. I would say, if I had to go back to a coming out moment for the city, when the city of Houston started embracing and asking about Antoine, is when the team you played with, Satch, played against I think it was a team out of Dallas, maybe Prime Prep or something, in a tournament over
API. as
API.
Antoine. Yeah.
You played against API over at Second Baptist in the Jim Hicks RCS Sport Hoops Giving Classic, and they called me and say, "Hey man, this Antoine Davis guy is for real. Who is he?" Do you remember that? Do you remember that event, Antoine?
I do remember that event. I'll probably never forget that.
Why is that? Tell us why you won't forget that event.
It was just I had a really, really, really good game against them. And it was against a team that was really good too, a loaded team for sure. Mark Vital, Billy Preston, Trayvon Duvall, Terrence Ferguson. It was a loaded team. So it was like, for me to come out there and do that was big, for sure.
Man, you just mentioned a couple of names. I forgot Duvall was on there as well. That was action. Y'all put in some action that day, man. I tell you, it goes a long way. Coach, what advice can you give to other fathers as far as coaching their son or sons?
Put aside the ego. Put aside the ego. Seek the best information that you can, and don't go with emotion. And I say that because we always want to be, we always want to do it on our own until it get to a situation where we need help. But you need help from the jump, and you need to seek out information from people that is really, really good in that field. And I told Antoine one time, Coach Lucas came by to pick him up one morning, and it was really early. And I said, Twan, I said, you got to look at this. If that was a quarterback that had a chance to spend a whole day every day with Tom Brady, wouldn't they do it? If a business person had a chance to be with Warren Buffett, wouldn't they do it? So embrace this. And you can't get emotional because the roller coaster is going to be up and down. And it's all about skills. It's not about comparing yourself to when you walk out of the gym. And if you get upset about not being ranked in the city of Houston or the city of Dallas or in the country, use that as positive motivation and not negative motivation. Because, we didn't seek rankings. I told Twan a long time ago, you want to be famous or you want to be really good. And it's human nature to want that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a kid being ranked number one, number two. There's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, it's a blessing. But as a father, stop dealing with people that haven't prepared themselves for the process, if that makes sense. Because the process is long. It's long. We had a 5-year plan, not a 1-year plan, not a 1-month plan. So it's going to be a plenty of times you walk out of that gym, walk into that gym, that you're not going to be good. And you're going to walk out of that gym and say, he can't play, and why am I wasting my time? And I've heard NBA guys tell Twan and college guys tell Twan, I say something like, man, why are you shooting all these shots, but you don't shoot in the game? And I asked them, I said, well, why you take a shower every day? You're going to stink. So you think that shower, it doesn't, what I'm saying is that you have to do it. And then once you feel comfortable, you're prepared. If I cut back on my shooting just because I'm not shooting the game, then I'm never going to get to the point where I'm comfortable in the game. And once I'm comfortable in the game, that means I don't put 50,000 shots in this shot, 50,000 in this shot, 50,000 in this shot, maybe 100,000 in this shot, and I may not even use that until later. But once I use it, I said, oh, now I know why I did all this work. But I put so much time in, I'm way ahead of everybody else from that standpoint. And I just think sometimes as parents, we get caught up in the wrong emotional things because we want our kids to be good right now. We always preparing our kids to another kid right now. We always upset with a coach about something he didn't do or what he did. Look, use every bit of that as motivation. You should be upset, whatever, but hold on to that as a positive thing and not a negative thing because, Antoine is the proof. He's the problem. He's a proof. He used to go in the gym and he used to get whooped on days, and I used to walk out of that gym with man. But I always went home and I always said, what can we do tonight, not tomorrow, to get better tonight? Mm-hmm. And what can we do in the morning to get better? So, I didn't play the and I was there every day. I was there every day with him. And when I wasn't there, I was on the road playing. And then, you know, the proof to me, Marlon, was this. I say this. When I walked in the gym, and there's no disrespect to John Jr. at all, because I think he's had a great career. When I walked in the gym and saw John Jr. for the first time live at 5'9", 5'10", whatever he is. And that's all I needed to see, because I could relate to his size. Mm-hmm. And now I'm saying, hey, Coach Lucas did this for his son. Take my boy. Take him. But when you take him and work him, I'm going to make sure we do extra stuff when we go somewhere else, because I'm gonna watch to see what you did and what he couldn't do that day. And we're going to go back and work on it at Texas Southern. That makes sense?
Absolutely. It absolutely makes sense. And yeah, you're right. And I understand that when you say you see somebody like John Jr., John Lucas III, you look at him like, man, he played a long time, and look at him, and you sit and it gives you a gauge, like, you know, there is hope, kind of basically.
Yeah.
But now I got a couple more questions before I let y'all go. I'm gonna come back, and you just mentioned some numbers, Mike. You mentioned 50,000, 100,000. Some people might not think that as a realistic number, but I'm gonna come back and ask that in a hot second. I'm gonna ask Antoine this. Antoine, when you think of the NBA, when we all think of the NBA, we tend to think of guys like LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Magic, Tracy McGrady, and physical guys of physical specimens in that sport. Now, Allen Iverson, Steph Curry, Kemba Walker, Trae Young, they have shown that having a skill can help you become one of the best in the world also. Now, guys like you guys have inspired many youth, including my sons. and you guys have inspired many youth around the world and have given them hopes and dreams as well. Has anyone approached you about anything about this? Any young kids or anybody approached you about, man, Antoine, you know, how'd you do this, or what'd you do? Or, you know, they just appreciate seeing you put in the work.
Well, a lot of people from Houston, like, they'll DM me or something, snap me, text me, and even people here will DM me that I didn't know that even knew me, ask me, like, what do I do? Any words that I need to tell them, like motivational things. And I'll just tell them, like, no matter how rough it gets, just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Keep going. What was that experience like when the first college game for you, when you're like, look, this is it. I can't go back now. I have to walk on this floor. I can't turn. What was that experience like for that first college game, man?
First game, it was against Wayne State. I was nervous. I was in layup lines. I never felt like this before. It was like, I prepared for it. I wasn't like thinking I wasn't going to play good. I was just nervous because of my first game.
Uh-huh.
I cramped up and everything. You ask my dad, he asked me who cramps up in a game and stuff like that. I didn't know how he wanted me to do. I hadn't played a game in 2 years, so I was a little like anxious more than nervous.
Okay. You remember the results of that game and how you played and the team?
I mean, we ended up winning. I didn't play for like the last 5 minutes because of the cramping, but I had like 20 points.
That's a story we're going to take to the books. We're going to put that on the books and say, look, Antoine's first game, he was nervous as all get out. I had to pull it. Coach Davis had to pull him off. And, hey, man, why don't you go to the bathroom and wash your hands real quick so we can get you right. But that's okay. Now, Coach, you mentioned just a second ago, shoot 50,000, 100,000. Some people don't those are big numbers that you just mentioned. Some people don't look at those as being realistic numbers, or people look at it, maybe 100,000 as being the end result of the that they're shooting for. What is that number in relative to the way others usually think?
Well, I just think our mindset, we have a fixed mindset. And what I mean by that is we think what's going to be. And so I can work and I'm going to be great if it's meant for me to be. And we wait for, I don't know what they're waiting on, but we was playing catch up. And I wanted to, and people say this all the time, Mark. I'm going to get off the subject, but people say, well, Antoine has an advantage because His dad is a coach. It's a lot of fathers, a lot of coaches that have sons, a lot of coaches that have sons,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And people say, well, what you did, it may not work for everybody else. It's definitely not going to work if you're not going to do it, for sure. You know, so what I wanted Twan to be, everybody said, well, Twan's afraid, he's scared, you know, you don't like contact, you don't like contact. He wasn't afraid, he just wasn't comfortable. And there's a big difference between being afraid of something and being uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, you're not going to feel good doing it. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to do every move possible as many times as we could. I used to keep little note cards, and I write the date on the top of the note cards and how many shots that we took. And I studied up on Steph Curry, Steve Nash. I mean, everybody that was similar to him, I mean, similar was, they wasn't a 6'5" jet, strong built, everything. And so we never lift weights really until a little bit his senior year, and now since he's been here at Detroit Mercy, because I didn't want him to have any advantage other than his feet and his skills. And so we would go in the gym some days and just shoot the end of his shot. We wanted to master the end of his shot every day. I wanted to be able to shoot going right, going left, going back, going forward, the same way regardless. That whatever he did, I wanted the end of his shot to be mastered. And I read this book called The Little Book of Talent. And this guy went all over the world researching all the hotbeds and how they train. And it was funny because I read the book before I got to Houston. But then when I got to Houston, I was around Coach Lucas for about a week. I said, he's the book. He's what the guy is talking about. He is, you know, he's that guy that makes you feel uncomfortable. He's gonna push you to the max. He wants greatness. He understands greatness and the reps and reps. He did a lot of stuff with Twan. You know, he fixed Twan's shot, dribble. He put Twan against competition and challenged him. And, you know, in the lab, you know, you got to go to the top of the key, to the wing, and then drive, and in 5 seconds, you know, 5 here, 5 there, then 5. And the people on defense know you got to go there as well. So everything's a challenge to you. And I wanted to put so much time in to what he was doing that once he got to a level of playing, that no matter who played against him, he was prepared for it.
Now, that's big. And you actually went into something that I was going to mention was, what's it like to have to coach your sons? What are the challenges of coaching your sons? And you kind of alluded to that as well. I tell you what, as we get ready to get out of here, Twan, look, man.
Yeah.
We understand that your dad is from Alabama, and that's where you were at before you came to Houston and was at TSU. All we keep hearing about is that Antoine Davis is from Birmingham, Alabama. We get that. We get that and respect that. But we're going to say this. Can we get a little love from Houston, please? I mean, maybe when you break that 3-point record, you can throw up the H or something and show us some love down here, man. I'm just asking, you know, because can we get something?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we know, Twan, we haven't, but hey, man, let me tell you, it's been a pleasure watching you all, being around you all, first up close and personal on a day-to-day basis, seeing the growth across the board. Now I'll ask you this last question, Coach, and then we'll get ready to get out of here. You've often said that your path was in reverse. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that for any young coaches that's watching? What do you mean by your path was in reverse? And what advice would you give any young coaches who may start out in reverse like you did?
Well, I said it because my first head job was Indiana. My second job was UAB. My third job was Texas Southern. So in the coaching profession, you go small to big, not big all the way down to small. But it was really the way you're supposed to do things in life. You're supposed to go to the end, from the end to the beginning. I mean, that's how I broke Twan's shot down, is from the end to the beginning. You know, once Coach Lucas worked with him a lot on it, because you need to see the end result, see the big picture. And Indiana is basketball mecca. You know, they don't get any bigger than Indiana when it comes to basketball. And so I got a chance to see that. I got a chance to bring that mindset, that mentality, that work ethic to Texas Southern. And so I instilled in my players. I treated them like we was in Indiana. I talked to them like we was in Indiana. I pushed them like we was in Indiana. We worked like we was in Indiana. We stayed in the same hotels where we stayed at when I was in Indiana. We the food we ate, pregame meal, everything was the same. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't get a chance to see it first.
Mm.
And so it worked in reverse, but reverse was great for me. And to all the coaches and especially the parents, I talk to a lot of parents and I listen to a lot of parents, It's all about the right information. People say this, the 5 people that you're around, you have a tendency to talk like them, think like them. They rub off on you without you even knowing it. Get around somebody that is doing what you want to do. That's getting it done. Not the one that's trying to get there. Nothing wrong with being with those people either. But find you a mentor, even if you have to find one in a book or find one on a video. A mentor don't have to be a person that you know personally. You can read up on a Steve Jobs or Warren Buffett or whoever it may be. I was fortunate to be around Coach Lucas for the last 5 years, and I got a chance to see some really good college basketball players come in there, and I got a chance to see some guys that worked really hard. I got a chance to see some guys that didn't work hard that was really good. And so, as a young coach, you just want to be good. You want to be good. You want to not let a day go by that you're not doing something and reading on your sport, because you want to be able to, because you're dealing with young people. You're going to deal with some parents. You want to talk to some parents. And if you can give them the right information, they may not want to hear the right information, but you have to give them the right information. And you can't really sugarcoat it to make them feel good. Mm-hmm. But you have to explain it to them. So look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is the way it has to be. Now, you may make it not doing this way, but how long are you going to be there? And when they start downsizing, when they start cutting, it's hard to cut skills. It's really hard to cut skills, and it's really hard to cut somebody on the job. Now, you may be fired or downside, but somebody will want you if you have great knowledge in what you're doing.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of people are going to take that information and run with it and just keep
Make sure that boy stay in that gym now. Make sure that boy stay in that gym, because he got a chance, man. He got a chance.
I must get him. Mine gonna stay in there. Antoine, last question for you. As I already said, maybe you'll show us some love when things go down. We know we respect Birmingham. We Alabama all across the board for sure. Now, you've had a chance to meet a lot of people throughout your process. A lot of people have had a lot of different kind of impacts, good and bad, on you. Is there anything in specific, anytime in general, time in specific that you like, look, I enjoyed this part of college. I enjoyed this part of high school. I enjoyed this group of guys. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that are kind of watching. You would like to say hello to some people or just talk about, just anything that you kind of enjoyed along your process, along your path so far.
Looking on it now, I didn't enjoy the process at first, but seeing it and going through it, there's not a lot of people that I think could have went through what I went through as far as the basketball process. Mm-hmm. And it makes me happy because, I got here and I feel like it was all worth it in a way, if that makes sense. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, we know you're not a man of many words, and we're good with that. Okay. We definitely appreciate you taking your time out to come join us inside the booth. Same with you, Coach Davis. Look, I got to mark the calendar. I got to look at the calendar because somebody keep bugging me about coming to watch some games. So we're going to make sure we're going to get around. We got to get around to that. But in the meantime, congratulations again on the success so far. Continued success to you as you all continue to keep evolving as individuals and as a team. Enjoy watching the team. Guys are working hard, playing together. And I know, hey, sky's the limit for you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy that cold weather because I'm not missing.
I know you're not.
All right, we'll see you all And thanks again. As we get ready to leave, guys, I'm going to play this video of Antoine Davis that we have. And I want everybody to see exactly who he is, what he's doing, and just kind of enjoy it because he can play. So let's watch this Antoine Davis video. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy it every time I watch it. You know what? He's a winner, y'all. He's a winner. Yeah.
It's a good story behind it. We'll get to it at some point. Antoine Davis for 2.
Boy, does he like here in Detroit. Saw him last year in the Blitz League Classic as he gave the Titans a perfect 6 points.
Davis, deep tray, you know it. Left side of the glass. A team that shoots 12 from 3, coming at 36%, struggling, barely going to this one. Davis scurrying his way in. 24-11. Lead right now. Davis.
And I tell you what, a rhythm shooter right
there. On either end of the court. This Phoenix squad. Davis. What a nice move.
Might get some accolades out of it. His teammate just took that away.
Davis. Wow. How smooth is that Montero out here? Eyes open. Davis just needs a little bit of space. Spin. And he got the roll. Back up for Darian King. Now deep out for Antoine. Steps to the middle and drains it.
Now, that's just a little bit of Antoine. I enjoy watching him. You all enjoy watching him. Thanks for joining me inside the booth. I'm Marlon Lowe. We'll talk with you soon. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications button on this so that when it's time for us to get have some other guests on, you'll be involved. You'll know ahead of time. Do that for us. Thanks again. For Mike Davis and Antoine Davis, I'm Marlon Lowe. Thanks for joining us live inside the booth. Talk with you soon.